What's happening, guys? We got UFC Fight Night coming up this weekend, and it's taking place in Mexico. Brandon Moreno, guys. You're probably thinking, what the fuck happened there? One of the wheels on my chair likes to pop out sometimes, and it's popped out, so that's what happened there. But anyways, UFC Fight Night, Mexico. We've got Brandon Moreno headlining this card, and he is taking on Lona. I still don't know how to say his first name the greatest, but Lona Kavanagh from the UK, repping the UK. Yeah, big up Lona Kavanagh. Big fan of his, and I do think he has a high ceiling. It's just whether or not he can reach that ceiling, because this day and age of MMA is completely different to 10 years ago. I feel like now it doesn't matter how well-rounded you are, like the levels of MMA, like everyone is getting to that level of just high-level MMA. So especially when you get to the UFC, the levels are different. But obviously we got Brandon Moreno, who is a vet, and he is 23-8-2. Lona Kavanagh is 9-1. Obviously his last fight, which was against, I think, something Johnson. Lona Kavanagh got knocked out. So, But anyway, let me get this page up. So yeah, as you can see here, Brandon Moreno 23-8-2, Lona Kavanagh 9-1. And to be honest, quickly going back to Lona Kavanagh's last fight, I do think he just got a bit tired and a bit sloppy, which caused him to get knocked out, because he was doing very well. Like, he's a very good fighter. It's just he did look a bit gassed out, tired, and when you become tired and you get gassed, that's when you tend to make mistakes and you get sloppy, because it's like, you don't want to get exposed being tired, so you just want to try and end the fight, or keep the person off you, whatever. But you see this matchup, it's an interesting matchup, because obviously we got Brandon Moreno, who is a seasoned vet, taking on the best in the... Wait, why does it say my man? Why are they two different weights? Was Brandon Moreno a bantamweight before? But anyways, we got Brandon Moreno, who's a seasoned vet, and Lona Kavanagh, who is a prospect. And listen, he is a prospect for a reason. Very good fighter on the way up. Obviously, when I look at the two, I would say Lona Kavanagh has the cleaner striking, but then Brandon Moreno, as an overall MMA fighter, I think is the better fighter. Like, even when they're standing up striking, the way Moreno is going to mix it up with the kicks and the boxing. And to be fair, Moreno's boxing is quite underrated, in my opinion. But I do feel like Moreno has taken a lot of damage in his career. And I just don't know, because Lona Kavanagh, let's actually take a look at Lona Kavanagh's. He has a 50% striking. He has 50% striking accuracy. He has 4 wins by knockout, 1 by submission. He has a 44% KO ratio, a 44% decision ratio, and a 1% submission ratio. You see my thing with this fight, yeah? Because as Lona Kavanagh has climbed up the rankings, it does seem as if he might just be a little behind. But again, let me take a look at how old he is again, because I think he's similar age to me. Okay, he's 26, so he's a year younger than me. So listen, like, he's entering his prime. So even if he does take losses now, it's not the end of the world, because he's not even in his prime. He's slowly entering his prime. As a man, when you get to 26, you slowly start to enter your prime. 27, 28, 29, you kind of reach your prime. Not the peak, I would say. I would say probably about 30, 31, you've probably reached the peak of your prime. And then, after that, you still have a bit of your peak, and then once you get to like 35, it's father time. Hey, it's crazy, boy. But with this fight, yeah, I'm struggling to pick a winner because I feel like this fight could. When we look at Lorna Kavanagh, this fight, it could either be a fight where he puts on a statement win and catapults himself into the top 5 and title contentions. Because yeah, let me double check. I believe Brandon Moreno is. Okay, it's not showing me. Let me quickly look here. Flyweight. Okay, Brandon Moreno is number 6. Damn. Fuck Brandon Moreno, man. At one point he was fucking hell. But so Brandon Moreno is number 6 and Lorna Kavanagh is 15. So if he beats Moreno, he moves into the top 10, just outside the top 5. So, you know, he could put on a spectacular performance. But then on the other hand, literally, there's 2 ways I see this fight going. Lorna Kavanagh either knocking him clean out or putting on a masterclass. Or it's going to be Brandon Moreno showing the levels of the UFC and derailing another one of these prospects. And I can see both things happening. Because for me, Brandon Moreno has had a lot of fights. And let me see how old he is. Wow, Brandon Moreno is still young. 31. All right, guys. It's a shame, yeah, because... And listen, Brandon Moreno hasn't really looked the same in like his last couple of fights. Obviously, he lost to Tatsuro, however you say his name, he got finished. Do you think it was a bit of an early stoppage? But I don't know, man. It's a difficult one because they're similar height. So no one really will struggle in terms of getting a read on the reach and all of that. You know what, guys? I'm going to go with Brandon Moreno, man. I'm going to say he gets this one. What's this? 5 rounds? Oh, yeah. Let me check if this is 5 rounds, man. Well, it should be 5. Well, no. It is 5 rounds. I don't even need to check because it's the main event. And the main event's always 5 rounds. And I'm not going to lie, yeah? Guys, I'm going to be honest. If this goes past 3 rounds, I see Brandon Moreno winning. Because from what I saw from Lorna Kavanagh in his last fight, which was 3 rounds, against Charles Jourdain, whatever his name is, Kavanagh did look like he was slowing down and a bit gassed out as the fight went on. And I do think Brandon Moreno is not going to get tired. Unless Kavanagh can stop Brandon Moreno early, Moreno is not going to stop coming forward. He's going to fight to the last second of the fight. And you know what? I do see Moreno pushing the pace in the last couple of rounds. And I wouldn't be surprised if Moreno even got a submission in the later rounds. I want to stick with the UK fighter, that being Kavanagh. But, you know, I'm just going with logic in this one. And logically, I think it makes sense to go with Brandon Moreno. I just think he has more tools in his arsenal. He can wrestle as well. And I do think he will go for some takedowns in this fight. And I do think he'll be able to get the takedowns against Kavanagh. I think the first couple takedowns Moreno goes for, Kavanagh might stuff them and defend them very well. Because Kavanagh does seem like a very, very good all-round fighter. But I just think Moreno is going to be able to call on that experience, especially in the later rounds. So I'm going Brandon Moreno. I want to go decision, but you know what? I'm going to go with a submission. Because, yeah, I think Moreno in the later rounds will push the pace of the fight. And to be honest, I do think Moreno has a lot to lose in this fight. And I think he has a lot to prove as well. So I think he's going to want to put on a statement win. So, because even in his last couple of performances, he hasn't looked as happy, if that makes sense. So I'm going Brandon Moreno by submission, either in the 4th or 5th. And yeah, if not submission, I'm saying Brandon Moreno either way by decision or submission. But yeah, I want to stick with the UK guy, but unfortunately I can't because, yeah, my heart wants to go with Kavanagh. My mind is going with Moreno. So we're going with what my mind says, which is Moreno. Let me know your predictions and thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, guys.